What happened, Mr. Fighter? Why you like the rainbow?
It's literally like the rainbow. It's changing colors.
Oh,
It's got a, you got
there's
it, bro.
more.
Yeah. Every time I look at it, I see a new shade, new colors. There's like yellow, and then it's like there's a line back here, and then it's looking like a traffic light. There's purple. There's orange.
So what lifts did that happen on?
Yeah, I know you're being cheeky. It did not happen in the gym. For those of you listening, it was the jujitsu.
What's that? Jiu-jitsu.
Jiu-jitsu is basically Mexican ground karate in pajamas.
What's gonna help that?
Time. Time. I've gotten some advice from friends of ours that are physios and sports doctors. I saw my Chinese lady doctor on the weekend. I think time will do its thing. I'm going to heal it with my mind and avoiding things that piss it off. So I've learned over the last 7 days movements that are troublesome. So if you think of like a peck fly action, that's the worst for it. And if you think of me lying down on the floor trying to get my hands up in the air like a dumbbell press action, that's also the worst for it as well. Those two seem to trigger it the most. It's feeling better through range. Yeah. Definitely all the injuries, most of the injuries that I've sustained, bar one or two in my life, have come from the jiu-jitsu. It's fun, man. You should really try it sometime.
Yeah, I'd love to one day. Yeah. You're pretty spooked the day after or 2 days after.
Yeah, when it first happened, so the way it happened, I was on the bottom, my teammate was on top, and I was trying to escape. He had me in mount, and I was trying to escape. And when it went, I could feel some things like tearing or straining, and my mind went to like catastrophe mode. My mind went to ultra zoomed in. My God, am I going to need surgery? Will I not be able to lift?
I've been there.
There goes my fat loss progress that I'm making. There goes my strength gains. There goes my jiu-jitsu gains. Will I be able to roll? Will I be able to pick up my daughter? Like, will I have to have this thing reattached? It went to doom and gloom. It went to the worst. And then it wasn't until like few moments later, like literally 10 minutes of just being annoyed and frustrated and angry at myself, that I thought, you know what, like this will only stop me if I let it stop me. I've still got 2 legs, 1 arm, 2 legs, 1 shoulder that I can use. There's still plenty that I can do in the gym. There's still plenty I can do at jits. There's still plenty I can do at home.
It took you 10 minutes?
It took a lot of deep breathing. And a friend of mine at jits, like, he actually came and sat down next to me, and that was a really nice experience. And he was just like listening to me, and he was just there for me. But he asked me a couple of good questions that stopped me and made me think. He said, are you like the moaning and like you bitching right now? Is it because you're in pain, or is it because you're annoyed and frustrated? And it was a really good question. It stopped and made me think. I was like, bro, it's because I'm annoyed. And then like that instantly calmed me. I was like, oh, I'm just a bit worked up about it because I don't want to be set back with my mission and my goals and everything that I'm doing. But it's not, I'm not in pain. Like, it's not like, I don't feel like it's debilitating pain. As the days went on, spoke to physio Steve. He seems to think that it hasn't fully detached, and he's actually suggested that I get an ultrasound, just so that we can find out the level of strain it is. Initially, he thought it's like still intact and strained, but then like the discoloring and the swelling didn't appear for a good couple of days. Like maybe a tiny bit, but this is like we're at almost 7 days later, and it's only now starting to change colors and things.
What sort of workarounds or variations have you been doing in the gym in the last 7 days?
Definitely the weight that I'm lifting in the gym has been pulled back a lot. So I've taken out all pushing action. So things like barbell bench press is out for the time being. Dumbbell bench press is out for the time being. Shoulder press is out for the time being. Things that I've tested and are working well is pulling actions. I've done a lot of dumbbell rows, bent over barbell rows, lat pull downs, seated rows, chest supported rows. Squatting with a barbell on my back is out of action for the time being. That puts a big strain on my shoulder, so I've replaced the barbell with a safety squat barbell, and that's been working really good.
Would you say you're still getting sort of productive, meaningful workouts?
I would say I'm getting productive, meaningful workouts, especially with legs, abs, and back. Obviously not with chest and shoulders, but who cares? That's still legs, back, abs is still plenty of strength work.
Would you say after training lower body or back, it generally feels a little bit better once you're warm up?
It feels a lot better. Yeah. Once the blood is flowing, my body and my mind feels better about the healing process and the injury. Yeah.
Yeah, it sort of makes you feel like you can do something, a bit empowered.
Yeah, I get the pep back in my step. I get my energies back. I feel better about the entire process, and I feel stronger after it. I feel warmer. Like my body feels less guarded, less tentative, and I'm confident that it's fast tracking my healing.
Yeah. It's also good to focus on something else besides that side of injury or something like that. Breaking a sweat.
Yeah. It is. It gets my mind off. It's like, oh, actually, I'm more capable than what I thought I was. Oh, I don't have to baby it too much. This movement's okay. This movement's okay. Oh, I can do more legs. I can do more abs. I can do more back. I can do more da 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 da.
Yeah. Going back to time.
Even things like triceps feel good. Like
That's interesting. A bit of opposite stretching.
Yeah.
You said time helps.
Yeah.
You know how you said when I did mining, I was the same mindset, but it took me longer than 10 minutes. It took me about 10 days before I was like, oh, okay. It just flicked a switch in my head where you realize it's okay, you're not going to need surgery or anything like that.
Yeah.
I'm keen to see how you are in 2 weeks post, 4 weeks post, and 6 weeks post.
Yeah, I think it'll be fascinating to observe. I think the reason it took me 10 minutes as opposed to 10 days is because I've had the opportunity to overcome so many injuries. And each time I'm faced with that obstacle, it's an opportunity for me to unlock some levels mentally and do some inner work. I was like, oh, okay, knee this, back that. But it all comes from jiu-jitsu. At jiu-jitsu, I think we're putting our body through. I mean, before jiu-jitsu, it was football.
ACL, that.
Mr. ACL. Yeah, I guess you could say that I've always put my body through different things, like different exercise, and copped some injuries. Yeah. Which are a blessing for this, right? Like I injured myself at 12 o'clock at jiu-jitsu. At 1 o'clock that same day, I was at my scheduled boxing class. I didn't have to go to boxing, but I knew just showing up to my scheduled boxing class and not bailing and canceling last minute, I knew that it would be fantastic for my mentality, it would be fantastic for my habits, and at the same time for my mind and my body and my healing. And my boxing coach goes, whoa, you all right? What's going on? I was like, yeah, look, I'm just going to do one arm boxing today.
Yeah.
And he's like,
yeah, respect
for being here, man. Like,
yeah,
could have gone home, but literally anything's better than. And I still did my footwork. I still visualized, like, instead of throwing my jab, I'm like thinking about the jab, and then I throw the cross. And I'm confident that my boxing session this week, that's scheduled for tomorrow, will be even better than last week. Like I came in with a pretty. Obviously, I didn't do anything stupid. I didn't do sparring. There's a lot that I didn't do, but there was still some things that I did do. And at the end of the day, I still showed up for what's important for my mission and what I've decided to dedicate my time and energy to.
And then you do a BJJ class a few days.
Yeah, I've done heaps of BJJ since. Yeah. I've done heaps. I did one yesterday, but I'm doing one arm jiu-jitsu and working on using my legs, using my arm, and obviously my training partners can see me just using one arm, so they go, what's going on? Oh, yeah, we're taking it easy today, and then we're dropping the pace, kind of like what we're doing in the gym. I'm dropping the pace.
It's going to be a smoother transition when you do get your capacity back rather than doing nothing. You're going to have to, if you did nothing, you're going to have to work so hard to get all that ground again.
Yeah.
What you're doing is you're minimizing downtime. Reckon with upper body, you're probably back 8 weeks.
Coach Sharif, what injuries have you experienced? And tell me more, because I think our community would benefit from hearing that coaches have struggles too, and how we work around things will help them be able to work around things as well.
One of my first injuries, major injuries, is probably an overuse injury, patellar tendonitis. That sort of, if ignored and you work through it and reckon it'll just come good without doing anything, turns into patellar tendinopathy, which is just an advanced stage of tendonitis. Yeah, that was interesting. So if you want to become very good at an injury, get it yourself, and trust me, you'll learn some things.
What did you feel when you had this knee injury?
A bit stressed. So I had a big competition coming up, and you don't want to let anyone down. So you just train through it and think you're gonna deal with it later. But a few weeks into it, you realize, oh man, things are getting worse. It's getting more painful. You're getting weaker. You're getting further away from your goals. When if you were smart about it and worked on it a bit earlier, you could have gotten over it and gotten past the stage where you sort of got injured and stronger and closer to your goals.
You felt the stress associated with, I'm getting weaker, but I have a competition coming up. But what did you feel when you had the injury physically?
With this particular one, it sort of creeps in slowly. So it's like a frog in warm water getting heated up. You don't realize until it's too hot.
Yeah.
So,
and when it got hot, what'd you feel? Like, were you in constant knee pain all day, every day, or was it specific movements that would trigger it, or was it you were fine until you finished your training session and then you were suffering after the training session?
So earlier on, you only feel it after. Late into the injury, it just hurts all the time. Sitting down right now, it'll be achy. Even if I go for a little jog, you just speed up your walk a bit, you can feel it. Getting up from chairs. But most importantly, the activity you love doing or what gets you to your goals hurts. And it's frustrating.
What did you do to fix this, or what did you change?
Modified load, modified frequency, set parameters in place. Sort of like if pain goes above a 5 out of 10, it's too much. And then you got to shift your mindset, sort of get rid of the mini aggravation. Just being a bit more objective with yourself when it's hard, when you're doing it yourself.
Modified load and modified frequency.
Yeah.
Give me some examples of what that means for people that don't know what you mean by frequency and what you mean by modifying the load.
Modifying loads, go lighter.
Yeah.
Don't go as planned or heavier, expecting it's going to be sort of a different outcome. You don't need to learn a lesson 8 times before, okay, maybe I should try something different. If you detect an injury or something like that, check the ego at the door and lighten the load and give it time to heal.
What about frequency?
So instead of squatting twice a week, I was squatting once a week. So that helped recover it because that movement sort of aggravated it a bit. Also tempo, so the speed you lift the load, so instead of going the strongest pace that you're used to, going a little bit slower is a bit easier on the tendons or thing you're dealing with.
Other than the knee injury, have you had any other ones that are worthwhile mentioning?
Yeah, there's another overuse one, pec strains from bench pressing. Yeah, so noticing trends with that one. If it was a bit too sore and then you go and bench press again, I always tended to strain it. Yeah, so that's something I had to learn and listen and adjust. If I just push through, man, it's like you gotta learn your lesson 18 times before you sort of realize this is something you want to deal with.
I've got a question for you. For our members and community members listening, how do they know when a niggle or an injury is at a point where they can continue to train and monitor, and at what point is it worthwhile implementing some changes? Do you know what I mean?
So if it's like above a 6 or 7 out of 10, like pretty apparent, I'd put it on cautious to return to that sort of movement the following week. I'd be like, okay, it was like a 7, 8 out of 10 last time, right? Just take it set by set when you're warming up the next time you're doing that movement. If it's like a 3, 4, 5 out of 10, usually it resolves itself within a week when you return. So some things you put it in we'll monitor basket. Is this a trend week to week? If it's sort of like a higher intensity pain, I'll be like, okay, it's definitely something you want to listen to and pay attention to, and tread carefully the following week when doing the next movement.
I know you said with that movement the following week, but sometimes it's okay to do that movement, but the athlete would just need to drop the load, right?
Yeah.
So let's say it was a 6 or 7 out of 10 this week, but next week when you're returning to that movement, you might just back off the weight. You don't have to replace the movement straight away. Is that right?
Yeah. So let's just say if you had 40 kilos planned and you sort of warming up, you're going 20, 28, 35 kilos. If at 28 you notice I can feel something coming on, or you just have that gut feeling, it's best to just leave it at 28 versus go to 35 and then 40.
Got it.
That's a nice way. Number one, you definitely don't want to re-aggravate.
Yeah.
Or re-spike that pain.
Got it.
Yep.
Controlling the load goes a long way, huh?
Yeah. Reducing sets, reducing reps, that's another one. Because just doing that movement again and not having the pain go up to 7 or above, that's a form of rehab, and that's a form of getting better at that movement.
Yeah. Okay, before we wrap this video up, any final tips for our community managing injuries and training whilst injured?
It's always counterintuitive. When you're in pain and you want to go and move and it feels a little bit not nice, but once you're finished, it feels better. Just getting started to do it is the hardest bit. I'm in pain, I shouldn't do this, I shouldn't do that. Oftentimes when I have a little bit of back niggles, like I said, that sensitivity, and I go and do a squat or deadlift workout, the rest of the week I am moving way better. A bit more flowy, can sort of lean over a little bit better, you just feel stronger. Versus when you have that pain before you do it, it's like, I should give it a few more days to rest, but it just stays static. But then you load up your body and all of a sudden it feels
I think another great tip for our community to benefit from would be think about how your pain is week to week. It's easy to zoom in on the day and think, oh my God, it's not getting better. It's still annoying me. It's still frustrating me. But when we zoom out, sometimes it's actually much better this week compared to what it was 2 weeks ago. So that means you're trending in the right direction. And then this time next week, you'll actually be feeling even better. Yeah, so remember to look into any serious injury, look at it from like a block point of view, like either a 4-week block or a 5 or 6 or 8 week block, because it's easy when injuries happen to zoom in, because our mind takes us to, my God, I won't be able to do this, there goes that's done, and this is going to take forever, and that frustration and negative emotion is easy for it to take over.
Yeah, zoom out a little bit, bird's eye view.
Yeah.
Helps a lot.
Guys, thank you for tuning in. There you have it from Coach Arif, exercise physiologist here at ZA. If you've liked this video, YouTube will suggest another one for you to watch. And don't forget, hit subscribe. We got new videos dropping every week.